Miss V. A pleasure.
Dexter Deshawn in the flesh. Ample indeed.
Let's roll.
While Cyberpunk 2077 may appear linear regarding the setup of its quests, there's usually more going on than what we first see. It becomes clear once you dig a little deeper that there's an insane level of detail, time and effort that has been put into each quest. Today we're talking about the Konpeki Plaza heist and exactly how insane the story of this heist is. There's so much we could talk about here, but I've decided to choose the 4 most interesting questions connected to the heist and answer these. How did Evelyn Parker come up with a plan for the heist? It's widely understood that Evelyn Parker set up the Konpeki Plaza heist after her gig with the Voodoo Boys. We also know that the Voodoo Boys did have some reservations about hiring Evelyn since they deemed her to be a little too intelligent for her own good. They only hired her because it was a time-sensitive heist and no one else had access to Yorinobu the way she did. The question that most people have asked is how exactly did she go from scrolling the BD to setting up a heist? Even if she wasn't too keen on giving the relic to the Voodoo Boys, how did she find someone willing to buy the relic off her so quickly? The list of possible clients for the relic is as long as the list of megacorps in Night City. How did she settle on Netwatch? Okay, so to answer this question we need to go back to the braindance that Evelyn ended up scrolling inside Yorinobu's penthouse.
Alright, V. Eyes open. Gotta find out where Yorinobu's keeping the relic.
You look like a cut of fuckable meat. Are you?
Evelyn. I felt her fear. Sure got it under control quick, too.
I said no.
She walks in, gets scared by Adam Smasher, who wouldn't? Then she calms down, flirts with the prodigal son, and then as she's heading to the bed, she checks Yorinobu's computer. Seems like an insignificant action at first, but it's not.
Very nice. But come here already.
Just a sec. Looking for the perfect thing.
During the Konpeki Plaza heist, if you keep a cool head and go check that same computer, you'll see what she saw.
Bingo! Got something ejected. Come here, V. Hurry up, V. Hurry up, V.
While scrolling the BD, Evelyn Parker decided to be too clever for her own good, just like Maman Brigitte of the Voodoo Boys feared she would. She read the messages as you saw, and it was a conversation between Yorinobu and Netwatch. This was how Evelyn found a buyer for the relic so quickly. I'm assuming that her thinking here was that if Netwatch was already in the mix, why not just steal the relic herself? She can then sell the relic and leave Night City a very rich woman. As far as plans go, that's not a bad one. It's not a bad plan at all. It does, however, rely on betraying a lot of people and not getting betrayed yourself. This is highly unlikely in Night City. Anyways, that's how Evelyn Parker came up with the plan. Why Dexter Deshawn as the fixer?
Now, Mr. Wells is right. We're gonna be going over some sensitive material. But if it's all right with y'all, I'd like to start with a question for Miss V. Evelyn Parker, how'd you fare?
Well as I could have, I guess. Walked around Konpeki Plaza, inside, from that raw BD she scrolled.
Bug already filled me in.
So you know the target. Yorinobu Arasaka, the Emperor's son and heir apparent.
Man with the millionaire name and no talent to back it up. Evelyn Parker's special friend? So she just want to see what's good, or was there something else?
Think she just wanted to see what I was about.
Wanted to see what you was about, huh?
How about we go over the plan? What you got for us, Dex?
Now, how and why she chose Dex is not an open and shut case. Also, there could be more than one motivation that went behind that decision. Aside from Dexter Deshawn's obvious charm and his willingness to splurge on no-name mercenaries, Dex is the kind of fixer you can screw over and get away with it. He'd skipped town for 2 years and was only just dipping his feet back into the madness of Night City. That's just my opinion, but if the plan all along was to stiff the fixer and run away with the money, it's better to do that to a fixer who's relatively fresh in the game than to try and do that to someone like Rogue. Speculations aside, Evelyn Parker actually answers this question if you choose to call her right before you go and meet up Dex at the Afterlife to set up the heist. Here is what she says.
You know Judy a while?
Why does that matter to you?
Doesn't. Just curious.
I trust her. She won't betray us. I think that's all you need to know.
What do you know about Dex Deshawn?
Best fixer in town. Found exactly who I needed faster than the rest. And asked the fewest questions. Too bad his mercs don't follow his lead.
Talk later.
Don't let me down, V.
Did you meet the human traffickers at Konpeki Plaza? No, but really, did you meet the traffickers? It's hard not to though. There are exactly 2 of them that are in your face on the ground floor of Konpeki Plaza, and there's one more that is mentioned by some guards walking by. Once you and Jackie have confirmed the reservation at the desk, you walk through a sort of open room atrium heading towards the bar. As you're walking, you pass this first trafficker.
Rachel Zakaria?
The one and only.
How are you able to seduce the world's most expensive model?
I did not seduce her. I kidnapped her. Right after the Buenos Six show.
Well, on to the romantic. And Zakaria? How did she react?
I am certain I can convince her over supper. And should she not, I will send her home by plane tonight.
Moving forward from this guy, right before you reach the bar, there'll be 2 guards walking to your right. Here's their conversation.
Those girls, Bar don't look too shabby.
Pretty rough. They're top of the line dolls. They will remember nothing.
What about me? I'll sure as shit remember. Shit. Why'd I have to go gawking?
Go on. Still, you wish you made in 1 month what they make in 1 night.
Finally, inside the bar at Konpeki Plaza, once Jackie leaves you and heads to the room and you stay behind to see what's happening, there's a woman who trafficked a male model to Konpeki Plaza. She proceeded to drug him with something that is going to enhance his sense of pain somehow, and it's heavily implied that she's going to do some very unsavory things to him by the instructions she gives him.
A private jet from Seattle. Chic. Very. And appreciated even more. It must have cost a pretty penny.
You are worth the price.
What do you mean by that?
How do you feel?
Marvelous. Did you put something in my drink?
You're welcome.
So that's why I feel so...
That is just the beginning. In a short while, all sensations will be 10 times stronger. Especially pain.
Pain? You said?
I'd like to try something different today. Is that okay with you?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Good. In that case, be at the room in 15 minutes. Cover the mirrors and camera.
How did Saburo know that his prototype relic chip had been stolen so quickly? Even though Saburo Arasaka is seen as the devil of Cyberpunk 2077, he's just a man who runs one of the largest companies in the world. This means that he cannot be everywhere at once, and he can't know everything that's going on at every single one of his research facilities. So how did he then know that the relic had been stolen so quickly?
Shit. Got 2 guards.
We're being attacked!
Well, forget trying to pilot this thing. Don't know what I was expecting.
Unauthorized access attempt detected. Remain where you are. Security personnel will arrive shortly.
Gotta get out of here now!
We get the answer to this twice in the game. In the diary, we learn that Hanako was never actually in Night City for the parade in Japantown. The real reason why she came to Night City was because Anders Hellman got scared and decided to snitch on Yorinobu. He went to Saburo and told him everything that Yorinobu had done and what he was planning to do. After reading this, Saburo was impressed with the loyalty that Anders Hellman showed and was going to reward him with a promotion. Hearing that her father was going to sail to Night City to confront her brother, Hanako decided to come too and act as a peacekeeper in that scenario. She asked Saburo if she could be the one to speak to Yorinobu, but Saburo said no, he needed to do this alone. That's how Hanako ends up being in Night City, but that's besides the point. Yorinobu found out so quickly because Anders Hellman snitched. This is further confirmed by our friend Goro Takemura.
Anders Hellman. He invented the relic. If I want to get rid of it, he's my man. And if that means picking another fight with Arasaka, so be it.
Hellman defected from the company. I myself spent many days looking for him. What's the expression? Dropped off the face of the earth.
Why are you looking for Hellman?
He was the one to alert Saburo-san to Yorinobu's schemes. He knew both of them well and could be an important witness.
Corporal rats squeal when hanging by their tails.
No read, no silver hand, no one. You are alone. All alone.
Project Cynosure is the not-so-secret project that was going to be Militech's answer to Arasaka's Soul Killer program. There's a lot we could talk about here. The lore of the project runs quite deep, but today our focus is not on the lore. I chose 3 of the most interesting questions about Project Cynosure that will allow us to navigate the insane hidden plot that most people tend to miss. The connection made by these 3 questions cover Bree, Whitney, Lisa Smith, Songbird, and the Blackwall. Netwatch has a dirty secret hidden in the Cynosure bunkers. Did you miss it? Okay, so in the Cynosure bunker, while you're being chased, there is a slight disorientation that happens. The music doesn't do you any favors either, because it can get quite scary. With all of these things happening, it's hard to stop and think about the gig shot by both sides. I'll go into detail why this gig is massively important and how it leads us to Netwatch's dirty little secret. For now, let's jump to the end of the gig. At the end, you're given a choice. Either protect Bree or let Dante, the agent, kill her. I used to side with Bree and kill Dante before, but the information I found out made me change that strategy. A few days after killing Dante, Netwatch sends assassins to take you out. This always felt weird to me. Cynosure was a Militech project, right? This was Militech's answer to Soulkiller, the Manhattan Project, Blackwall Edition. While Arasaka and Soulkiller were focused on capturing human engrams, Militech was going to dominate by capturing rogue AIs instead. This was what was told to us. If that's the case, why is Netwatch all of a sudden sending their agents to take us out? Why do they care so much? Is it that they want to kill anyone who has knowledge about Blackwall projects? Maybe, but maybe something else is going on here. After spending a few hours in the game, this is what I found. The reason why Netwatch sends agents to try and kill V, the true reason why they're obsessed with keeping this entire project a secret, is because they were directly involved in it. And to them, the world can't know that Netwatch, the corporation tasked with protecting humanity, was directly involved in helping Militech poke the Blackwall. Even worse, it was directly assisting Militech to capture rogue AIs inside neural matrices and use them in modified weapons like the Erebus. You can find an unfinished prototype of a neural matrix in the same room you find the Erebus gun in. Next time you're in the bunkers, stop and look at the signs above each room. When Bree Whitney said the following sentence, she had no idea how much worse the situation actually was. Netwatch was not just giving mega corporations free reign, they were actively assisting Militech.
Look, if it mattered, would have been old news years ago.
Kidding me? You hear about Soulkiller? Now imagine a similar project, only Militech's pushing the buttons. These things change the world. And not for the better. At least not for people like us.
Like other peeps haven't tried to contact Blackwall AIs. Failing to see the big break there.
Look, Voodoo Boys poking at the Blackwall is one thing, but one of the world's most powerful megacorps weaponizing a wild AI? Infinitely worse. When people learn Netwatch is busy hunting ordinary Joes while giving the megacorps free reign, imagine the outcry.
That's not the end of the story though. If we decide to side with Dante and we let him cook Bree, we'll get a shard that is the last piece of the puzzle. He's the actual hidden plot of the gig shot by both sides. Bree Whitney is an investigative journalist who's going through the struggle. She's broke and she needs some eddies. A surefire way to get eddies is to write hit pieces for corporations, so she begins doing this for Militech. The basic idea here is to write articles that look like hardcore, impartial investigations, but that are actually written in a way that will benefit Militech. That would be the equivalent of finding out that every single investigation that CoffeeZilla has ever done was done so as to benefit Goldman Sachs or Bank of America. Going back to Bree, the more she worked with Militech, the more access she got to their archives and former employees. Eventually, she ended up finding information and documents about Project Cynosure. She offered these to Netwatch because she thought that Netwatch would thank her, pay her, and perhaps even punish Militech, somehow. Bree was genuinely trying to be a better person. Inside her bedroom, you can find a shard that she'd been reading labeled The Art of Self-Control, 10 Rules for Becoming a Better You. It's safe to assume that after working for corpos for so long, she grew a conscience. Netwatch is after all known for being the protector of humanity against rogue AIs. This was the natural choice for her. At first, Netwatch did pay her, but since she told Netwatch the name of the quantitative analyst who helped her get the data on Cynosure, Netwatch killed him. Cesar Mejares is the name of the quant that helped Bree initially.
Ah. Can see those gears churning now. Yeah. Bree worked for Militech.
That true?
Yes. Took the gigs because that meant I got access to their archives. You gotta believe me. He knows I'm close. He wants to stop me.
Another failure to communicate. You don't know my mind, but I sure as hell know yours, Bree. A flag in the wind's what you are. Whose pocket are you in right now? Arasaka? Netwatch? That quant you were pulling intel from. Caesar Maharez. You know they zeroed him, right?
Well, Caesar managed to breach one of the data forts. He found fragments of some outdated code. Command controls for a weapon, perhaps? All we need now is an AI to merge its findings. Lisa will probe the Blackwall for any potential gateways. Huh? Oh, right. Day 39. Thanks, Lisa.
Militech ended up finding out that Bree had stolen the secret data and she was selling it to some other corp, so they sent Dante to take her out. Militech doesn't know that she's selling the data to Netwatch. Netwatch, on the other hand, wants Bree alive. Netwatch needs Bree to collect all evidence of their involvement in Project Cynosure, collect the names of anyone who's still alive who can testify against Netwatch, bring that evidence back, and then they promise Bree a new identity and enough money to start a new life somewhere else. We can even see that Bree made an attempt at packing her suitcase before running away from her apartment. Was Bree Whitney ever going to get her reward from Netwatch? Bree believed that the deal with Netwatch was solid, but it was never going to happen. After Netwatch had deleted all evidence of their involvement in Project Cynosure, they were going to kill Bree. She just didn't know it yet. The following shard is dropped by a Netwatch agent after you complete the quest. The use of the word they in that final sentence is not referring to multiple people, but simply to the fact that V can be either male or female. So CDPR played it safe and just used they instead of he or she. This shard is dropped by a Netwatch agent that you kill after completing the quest while keeping Bree Whitney alive. Okay, knowing all this, the name of the quest makes a lot more sense. Shot by both sides. It doesn't matter how you slice it, Bree was always going to get shot by both sides. Who is Lisa Smith and how is she connected to Bree, Cynosure, Songbird and the Blackwall? We all know that Project Cynosure was shut down 50 days after being reopened. The real reason as to why it was shut down is a lot scarier than you think. The story of Lisa Smith will be useful in explaining this. In 2068, Project Cynosure was reopened by Militech. Senior research specialist on site was Evan McRae.
Yeah. Okay, it's recording. Senior research specialist Evan McRae. This is day 3 of our expedition. We've moved some equipment to the bunker. The old rail system remains largely functional. They might have used it to transport heat exchangers from the lab once upon a time. There is a mountain of old research here. I'll see if we can find a use for any of it.
Evan's core team consisted of multiple unnamed netrunners, researchers, Lisa Smith, Cesar Mejares, and Evan himself. Cesar Mejares was tasked with breaking available data forts, and he did manage to uncover command controls for a weapon.
To breach one of the data forts, he found fragments of some outdated code. Command controls for a weapon, perhaps? All we need now is an AI to merge its findings.
Going back to Lisa Smith, she explains what life was like in the Cynosure bunkers. While they were down there, they had no help, so no janitors to clean the bathrooms, no cooks, etc. The only help they had appears to be with laundry. They could send clothes to get cleaned off-site. The researchers had to do all the other things themselves. And at one point, Lisa gets so upset that the netrunners and researchers who live down there with her kept taking massive sheets in the bathroom and not cleaning up after themselves. This is an angry note she left for them that can be found in one of the Cynosure bathrooms. I know we're not here to win the Swedish Academy Award for keeping our shit clean. I know we're all super important scientists at the top of our respective fields and that nobody wants to scrub a fucking toilet. But come the fuck on. We don't have a cleaning staff here, and unless you feel like sticking to the floor every time you want to use the bathroom, please, please, please clean the toilet after you use it and wipe the floor. Seriously, they told me I'd go fucking nuts sitting underground for months on end, but nobody said it was because I'd be stuck down here with a bunch of slobs. Here's the cleaning stuff. It does what it says on the label. You figure it out. Signed, Lisa. 2 European Netrunners were later called in to support the core team. Their names were Aurore and Aymeric Cassel. If you ever wondered how the twins got the codes to the neural matrix that Songbird was working on, this is how. There's a reason why I chose Lisa Smith as the main focus. By understanding her, we understand Songbird and her situation much better. Nietzsche once said, whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster, and if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you.
Chip cut our comms, or she woke something up down there that did that for her. And here we are going down, 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 the rabbit hole into the heart of darkness. Tell me you've got a plan.
Gotta get to Somi before the Blackwall does. Save her.
Real noble of you, long as the Blackwall hasn't stripped her to the bone. Because then we'd be walking straight into a trap.
The Netrunners, including Lisa Smith, kept diving deep into cyberspace and interacting with entities they did not understand. This includes the Blackwall. They were basically gazing into the abyss on a daily basis. Unlucky for them, the abyss gazed back. They just didn't know this at the time. The symptoms for Lisa began after one of her dives. She describes it like this. Something happened to me yesterday. After a deep dive into cyberspace, they whisked us away for the usual testing. At one point, we got to those weird neurological tests that I always thought were kind of funny, where they ask you questions that make no sense but apparently reveal something about yourself. You're probably familiar with some of them. What is the sound of one hand clapping? What does a mouse running through a maze represent to you? What do you associate with the smell of freshly roasted coffee? And it was at this point that I hesitated because, well, I suddenly realized that I didn't know what coffee tasted like. I know what coffee is, but that's it. Strange, right? The feeling passed when I made myself a cup of strong black coffee, but I have to admit I was a little weirded out. What else have I potentially forgotten? Is it some kind of side effect of my last few deep dives? I doubt it. I doubt it since I've been doing them for years. Anyway, hope you're doing well, Doc. Maybe next time we meet you might have an explanation. Signed, Lisa. This was not the end for Lisa Smith. She kept diving and eventually, without her knowing, things started following her home. The following message is titled Whispers in the Dark. It's from Lisa Smith to Kathleen McCormack, who happens to be her doctor. I'll tell you everything during our session, but I don't know. I just feel better writing to you about this now. I can't give any details, company secrets, NDA, yada yada, but I'm locked in this place and feel like it all started with a ringing in my ear, like a really faint whine. But then within the whine, I started to hear words. Yeah, I know, auditory hallucinations and whatnot. Classic. But at night, when I tried to fall asleep, I'd get the feeling like something was trying to understand me. Something. What exactly? I don't know. I hear it in the monitors, in the cables, the walls. Whispers in the dark. Nothing that makes any sense. Huh. Do I need new meds? Fresh air? Or maybe I've finally gone cuckoo? Sincerely, Lisa. P.S. Thanks for agreeing to receive these messages. Please don't reply. We'll talk about everything in our session. There are strong suggestions that this thing trying to understand Lisa is the Blackwall. This is how it starts. The more you try to interact with the Blackwall, the more it tries to interact with you, whether you want to or not. Your memories, your personality, everything is affected. And the Blackwall has so much to offer, so much data, so much wisdom, that it becomes irresistible to a normal human being. Like a moth to a flame, Netrunners keep going back and diving just to get another interaction with it. In the end, the Blackwall ends up consuming everything that ever made you human.
Now I can't hear, I can't feel anything. Can you?
Should I? Saw other visions, illusions before this.
Illusions?
Saw you with Reed, Myers. Saw your past. Don't remember?
No. The Blackwall consumes me all. The emptiness grows. I feel it. Fill it with memories. They keep taking them away.
So you hopped on a neural link, used the Relic's resources and the core's computing power to, take us to your digital mind palace? This secure? Even remotely safe?
For you, yes. For me, well, one version of me is saving your life. Another is here talking to you. And one more is dying. But it's no mind palace, this.
So me.
It's good you're here. Second chance. I never really got it, did I?
Save your strength, Somi. Reed'll be here any second. You'll make it through.
No. They'll never let me go. I'm fading, V.
Lisa Smith did survive this nightmare. We know that she's still alive in the year 2077. Project Cynosure ended up being shut down due to the Blackwall opening up more and more and letting rogue AIs pass through, but also, weirdly enough, the Blackwall itself began trying to communicate with some of the scientists and researchers inside the Cynosure bunkers. All of this happened in the span of 50 days. By the end, Evan McRae, Lisa's boss, was actually arguing for the project to go on a little bit longer. The hunger for lost knowledge grew to a point where Militech's research department had to threaten him to make him shut everything down. Here's his conversation with Militech's research department. The title of this is a Watershed Moment. Dr. Evan McRae writes to the Militech's research department, I restate my request. Should we truly pass up on such an extraordinary opportunity, we are on the precipice of a breakthrough. We just need more time. Militech's research department replies, Evan, we discussed this multiple times. The decision has been made. Gather your equipment and evacuate the premises. The situation is unstable and you're perfectly aware. You're not just poking the bear anymore. If we don't bury this underground immediately, we could trigger a crisis that not even your worst nightmares could conjure up. I want to see you all in the office tomorrow, healthy and in one piece. Best regards, JC. Dr. Evan McRae then replies, 1 week. That's all I ask. We'll do it. The Blackwall will understand us, communicate with us, but we need time to make sense of our communication. Just a few days, please. Militech's research department answers, Dr. McRae, you have orders. Our plan has not changed. This mission displays telltale signs of carrying too much risk. Please issue an immediate order of evacuation, or I'll be forced to resort to alternate measures. Signed, JC. During the quest shot by both sides, if you side with Bree, Lisa Smith ends up dying. Netwatch kills her because she knew exactly what happened in those bunkers many years ago. The project had to be shut down because we were no longer the ones gazing into the abyss. The abyss was the one gazing into us, probing us, trying to understand what makes us tick before deciding what to do with us.
Security had to set up somewhere. One of the many small sacrifices I've had to make. This was the first, but it won't be the last.
Project Oracle is a massive chain of events going on in Night City, and in this video, we're going to look at the entire project, or at least as much of it as I was able to get through in the past 3 weeks. I will of course provide a theory as to what my definition of Project Oracle is, and why I chose this specifically. References can be found in the description of this video if anyone would like to research further. We begin this journey down a deep rabbit hole with one of the very first characters we meet in the game, Prophet Garry. He always stands outside Misty's Esoterica and shouts about techno-necromancers and immortal vampires from Alpha Centauri. The truth is, everything he says is true, including Alpha Centauri. Yeah, that's also a real place. One corporation, Night Corp, is responsible for everything, and they're planning one of the most insane events that could succeed if no one finds out. Alright chums, make sure to grab yourself a warm cup of tea or coffee, a snack of your choice, and get comfortable as we dive deep into the rabbit hole that is Night Corp's Project Oracle. We begin this journey by listening to Prophet Garry talk.
At sunset, they strip off their clothes and dance nakedly, giving in to an animalistic ecstasy. Then, once they've transformed into the fanged beasts, they set off on the hunt, hungry for human flesh. Dozens of miles they cover in the darkness, with ferocious speed like arrows in the night.
I don't know, it doesn't add up. If they can move like that, why all the trucks and bikes?
When the moon shines full, I said. Only 3 nights a month. During their orgies of blood, they devour all in the area. In the day, they must drive to virgin lands in search of new prey. And the cause behind these monstrous horrors? Years ago, a ship from Alpha Centauri crash-landed in the Badlands. Legend tells that it carried a substance highly sought after by the vampire elite in Arasaka. It could transform Saburo's enemies into werewolves, leashed and bound to his will. But the crash
You got a problem with nomads, freak? Better shut your fat fucking mouth before I put you 6 feet under.
You can break my bones, but you cannot stop the pursuit of truth.
Hey, hands off my spiritual leader. But seriously, he's harmless. He's just got a few wires crossed. Leave him alone.
You have no faith in my words, do you? You think I don't know when I'm mocked? When they take me for a false prophet?
Your handsome little face is in for it now.
It's hard to take your interpretations seriously. But there is a little truth in what you say. Sometimes even more than a little.
You see it too. You know that behind a veil of darkness lurk creatures from our nightmares, but you fear to believe it.
You know, if you had any kind of real evidence of this grand cosmic plot...
I do! Tonight! They're meeting at an old factory in Kabuki to exchange something important. Observe them! Seize this item, this Alpha Centauri artifact. You'll see I was right from the beginning!
Open him up!
Wait, hold on. How do you even know about this meeting?
Their radio waves resonate within my brain. Ever since the accident, I've heard their secret broadcasts.
The accident. You know that doesn't instill confidence, right?
You don't understand! I have their co-processor in my head! I don't know how my Ripper Doc got his hands on it. But thanks to this, I can listen into their plots and schemes. If you help me, we can save this planet together.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Thanks for the tip, I think.
You mustn't intervene too soon, or too late. All could be lost. The fate of humanity rests upon your shoulders. Don't let us down. Do not let me down.
No pressure, got it.
Yo, we are shit kicking.
The time has come for a close encounter of the third kind. A small step for V, but a giant leap for humankind. Who are you betting on showing up? The reptilians or techno-necromancers?
Fingers crossed for unicorns, actually. Always believed they fly down from planet Nibiru and destroy us with rainbow lasers of love.
You're adorable. Didn't realize you still had a childlike imagination. And intelligence.
Enough joking around. Gotta be quiet. Gotta wait.
No one. As expected, I guess. Gotta be honest, though, I'm pretty disappointed.
Don't lose hope yet. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Someone actually showed. It's a maelstrom.
Techno-necromancers, then. I knew those reptilians were bullshit.
Can't believe it. There's some actual conspiracy shit going down right now.
What says the Wolf Father to the Moon Mother as she descends to Earth?
I have protected the realm of man and shadow, but today they are protected by our children, whose name is patricide.
In the age of his failure, he became lost in the forest.
Lilith has concealed the 10th circle from the ancestors' eyes.
Carpe noctem lamia.
Decet diem execrari.
I was hoping for green blood. Life really is nothing but an endless disappointment. Wonder what our prophet will say about this chip.
Was so expensive. Now they're embarrassed because it was jack shit.
Give us our Garry back! Alpha Centauri agents kidnapped our prophet!
Where's Garry? What happened?
I warned him! Some black suits came by, blue eyes and all, looked just like he said. Then they threw him in an AV and flew him to the mothership!
No one's tried to help?
Not a soul. The police say he's sick. Truth of it is he knows too much. He's a threat to him. Right now, I'm collecting donations for a monument in his honor to remember his courage and the crimes of Alpha Centauri. Care to spare a few eddies? In love and memory?
All right, I'll toss in a bit. This is for you, Garry.
Thanks! That ought to cover his nose.
I got this chip here. Mind taking a look?
Garry did say you're devoted to our cause. Show me. I'll tell you what I know. Jesus Christ, hide that quick! Nobody can know, got it?
Why? What is it? What's this all about?
Garry knew this had happened. They here to bend us to their will, to make us their puppets.
Whoa, calm down. Who is? The Necromancers?
And lo, they shall descend upon the earth unseen, the sky shrouded in darkness. That's what he said. Night's coming. The eternal night.
And so ends the epic saga of discovering secrets of paranormal beings. What's this story taught us?
Give us our Garry back!
That lack of closure sucks.
I don't disagree, but I had something else in mind. Some people know more than others. They hear the private conversations of the world's elite. And what do they do with that knowledge? They invest all their time reinventing age-old fairy tales.
Oh, where's your sense of imagination? I choose to believe we narrowly avoided war with vampires and aliens.
Don't we all? Vampires, aliens, reptilians, all captivating. Romantic, even. Truth, on the other hand, is brutally mundane. Its corpse pulling the strings. Twisted bastards skezzed out on their power fantasies.
You think that's what we saw? Shady corpo biz?
No doubt about it. They're the world's real bloodsuckers. Them, and always them.
I'd first like to begin by adding context to the information found in the Cyberpunk wiki. In the wiki, the sentence "Carpe Noctem Lamia" is translated as "Seize the night, vampires," but the word Lamia has meant many things over the years. Everything from night owl, night spectre, night bird, nocturnal creatures, and even Lilith have at one point or another in history been translated to mean Lamia. Also, Lamia is always mentioned in a female context, never a male. So that sentence I mentioned before might just as well mean Seize the Night Lilith, or Seize the Night Night Owl. As you know, nothing in this world is perfect, and this includes the Cyberpunk wiki. Now, the shard we received from the secret meeting has 2 messages in it. To get these messages, you need to understand that there is a cipher being used. The cipher being used is called an acrostic cipher. Acrostic ciphers are quite simple and have very few variations. One variation is to take the first letter of each word and build a new word with it. An example of this is if I wanted to talk about my friend Adam Smith, I could write his name as Apple Sausage. So the first letter of each word is the same, but the entire word is different. If we take the message you got from the shard and apply the cipher, we get a new sentence that says, Project Oracle Command Execute Plans. We obviously don't know what Project Oracle is yet, but I have a theory. I believe that the goal of the project is clearly stated in the message itself. Okay, so the message from the shard is simple instructions sent to initiate a sleeper cell. This sleeper cell is the person that's going to create an army of blue-eyed people, an army of puppets. How did I come up with this definition? You could use the cipher as we did before, but there was really no need for any cipher. You just need to have Google or have the knowledge of Mesoamerican mythology. Here's the message broken down with possible meanings attached. First we have phosphor radiates, occluding jaded eyes. This could symbolize a situation where something bright or illuminating, phosphor, is overshadowing or hiding something from tired or experienced, jaded observers. It might imply a distraction or a cover-up. Something is happening in Night City to provide a cover for the true plot happening behind the scenes. Come Titan. Outward ring avian choruses, looping eternity. The term Titan could refer to a powerful individual, figure, or entity. Outward ring avian choruses might symbolize messages or signals being sent out widely. Looping eternity could imply a continuous, unending process or situation, possibly a constant feed of data being streamed into vessels of some kind. These vessels could be computers, screens, or people. Cages of man melt as night descends. This could be a metaphor for liberation or the breaking down of structures or defenses. As a time of change or darkness, night approaches. It could also be a metaphor for breaking down natural human defenses when a dark event begins to happen. Night has always been associated with danger throughout human history, so night in this case could mean a war or an attack. There is a slight chance that it could mean literally Richard Knight, the founder of Night City, but we have no proof that an engram of him was ever made, so I'm not considering this at the moment. Emerge, Killua, erect Cholula under these expanses. This could refer to the mythological figure, Killua, and the Great Pyramid of Cholula, symbolizing construction or creation under vast conditions. It might suggest undertaking a grand or significant project. The creation I'm thinking about here is the creation of a magnificent army of oracles, almost as magnificent as the creation of the Great Pyramid of Cholula. Puppets lie awake, never sleeping. This could imply that there are controlled or manipulated individuals, puppets, who are constantly vigilant or unable to rest. It might suggest a state of alertness or readiness that's always present. I'll also go as far as saying that Killua is the person we've come to know as Mr. Blue Eyes. He is the great titan who's running Project Oracle on the ground, finding new talents, recruiting strategic people known to Night Corp, both old and new. The first time we meet him is during the Peralez questline.
It's a long story. I don't quite know how to tell you. Where to even start?
Relax, no need to rush.
A while ago, I started noticing some changes in Jeff's behavior. His personality, he seemed to be changing right in front of me, becoming someone else.
How so?
He stopped reading, forgot the title of his favorite movie. Even his musical taste changed overnight.
The City Council of Night City absolved 32
Once, I said we should visit his brother's grave, and he told me that he'd been an only child. That's when I started thinking something bad was happening. Something insidious. And not just with Jeff.
Notice any changes in yourself?
After some time, on several occasions, my friends pointed out that I was acting strangely.
That must have been hard.
It was. You know, it's at times like those you start to question reality.
So the whole time, you knew what I could end up finding.
I don't know who, how, or why, but they're changing us. That concealed room in our apartment.
What about it?
I'm sure I'd seen it before, but must have somehow forgotten. I find that terrifying.
Mention any of this to Jeff?
I tried. I did. But he's blinded to everything. He just laughed, said I was imagining things. He once brought up a vacation that we never went on. Swear to God. He went on about it in such detail, I almost started believing him.
Could be just you who forgot. Maybe they wiped the trip from your memory.
Hell, I don't know anymore. Don't you get that?
You haven't told me the whole story yet, have you?
I saw a stranger in our apartment one night tinkering with the monitors. But I was in such a state by then that I didn't know if I could trust my own eyes.
So you didn't do anything?
I don't remember what happened. I talked to security the next morning.
Let me guess. Cams didn't pick anything up.
The guy just shrugged and said I must have dreamt it. He showed me the recording, of course. I felt like a lunatic. And then, the next day, I got a call.
Who was it?
Them. Whoever they are. There was a garbled voice on the other end. He never introduced himself.
And? You cut some kind of deal with him?
No. I was told that our perfect lives could fall apart at any minute. That I have my husband's safety to think about. After, there was no record of the call. It was as if it had never happened. So I'm begging you, V. Jefferson can't find out about any of this. Ever. His life depends on it.
What if you're just saying what they programmed you to say? Just reading off a script based on thoughts planted in your head.
All I know is, I love my husband, and I want him to be safe, and happy.
Or that's what they want you to know.
You know what Jeff will do if you tell him? I know my husband. He'll start looking on his own. He can't find out about this. It'd destroy him.
Damn it, Elizabeth. You gonna ignore this? Somebody poking around in your heads?
What choice do I have? To get myself killed? Or see my husband dragged away from me?
Ask me to lie to my employer.
I'm going to tell Jeff that SSI was spying for his rival, Holt. You just need to confirm what I say.
You're truly prepared to fire SSI after the threats. It'd be brave, but risky as all get out.
What they're doing to us is one thing, but when you found that concealed room, I can't accept strangers spying on us while we sleep. Not under my own roof.
What difference does it make where?
I'll take full responsibility for anything SSI goes on to do. I'm just asking you not to get Jefferson involved. I'll add a meeting in Reconciliation Park to Jeff's schedule. He'll be waiting. Since I can't know if I'll remember this conversation tomorrow, I'm counting on you not to forget what I asked of you.
I won't. But that's all I can promise.
Goodbye, V.
Whole thing's fucked up, huh? Wouldn't want to be in her pants. Speaking of, overlapping memories, changing personalities. Remind you of anything? But hey, at least we know what we're up against.
No, this is different. You saw it yourself. They're purposely modifying their minds, individual thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Peralez make a damn nice next-gen puppet. Even in my day, there were whispers about this kind of stuff. Cognitive pattern fluctuators, remote neural re-networking. In layman's terms, gaslighting. The beauty is that everything's fair game. Subliminal TV signals, high-density emitters in your electric toothbrush. You name it.
So, in my pants, what would you do?
Some real rat bastards behind this. Someone's gotta take them down.
Even by risking the Peralez's lives.
Fuck knows what kind of shit a mayor controlled by puppet masters could pull. But yeah, you could end up putting their lives at risk. Or not. Tough choice, V.
Yeah?
It doesn't matter what you tell him. It doesn't matter what you think of doing or do. You can't change anything.
What?
We know who you are. We know what you are. We know what you want. You are playing with fire. Don't dare cross the line.
Fuck.
Hello, V.
Need to talk.
Yes, I know. Elizabeth filled me in. Sounds like I was right to hire a professional.
Elizabeth? What did she tell you exactly?
Didn't get specific. Just that SSI was spying for that son of a bitch Holt. Guess you got more, though.
SSI wasn't working for Holt. You're in deeper shit than you think.
Meaning?
Isn't it weird that you're a virtuous politician, candidate?
Flattered, but no. I'm far from it. Though I try my best. What's this got to do with anything?
How many people can honestly say they don't strike deals with gangs or take Eddie's from corpse?
A lot, I'd like to think. They just haven't introduced themselves yet.
Almost like this city doesn't deserve someone like you?
I'm not paying you to make up riddles for me, so get to the point.
SSI's on the take for some unknown group that's out to control your lives. You know there's a concealed room in your pad?
Out with it.
They've got tech in there you wouldn't believe. These people know everything about you and your wife. They're watching your every move. Somebody's programming you and your wife.
Sounds like something out of the movies.
Saw your brain scans. They're tweaking your neural connections. This ain't no movie, Jeff. Been at it for a while, you and Liz. Editing your memories, your tastes, your views and beliefs even.
How could I not have known about this?
Your memories. Can't even trust those anymore.
If that's true, I'll never know what's real in my life and what's a lie, fabricated. Wait, the intruder. I have to find him.
Trust me, you never will.
First, I'll find him, then I'll find whoever's behind this. Pull the curtain back on these motherfuckers and show them what's what.
Could show their hand if you're patient, wait long enough. Or use your mayoral powers if you get elected. As long as you don't forget all this by morning.
Sun Tzu's art of war. Feign weakness, so your enemy may grow arrogant.
Don't see you doing much feigning, Jeff.
My God. I have to tell Liz!
Your wife knows everything.
Liz? How?
Figured it out at some point.
Elizabeth? No. She would have said something.
She feared for your life, your daughter's life. Who could blame her?
Nah. Well, she's never kept anything from me. And she doesn't scare easily, believe me.
Got an anonymous holo telling her to keep her mouth shut. So she did what the perfect candidate's wife would do. Protected her family.
I won't let them get away with this.
So what now? You still want to be mayor?
Well, I'm not about to give up. I didn't run just to... I'll wait for my window, an opportunity, then make my move.
Isn't that exactly what they want?
Well, I'll give them more than they bargained for. And same with your Eddies. Take care, V.
Good luck.
And good night.
So, thoughts?
Somehow I doubt it's people who are behind this.
So aliens?
Very funny. You're too young to remember this, but not so long ago, people talked about rogue AIs prowling cyberspace.
So, not aliens.
Doesn't matter who. What matters is that guy decided to take up the gauntlet. My man.
As we first saw during the Peralez questline, the mind control on the Peralez was being achieved through the devices in their home. I believe it was through the screens in their home, specifically. There's a specific AI that Night Corp owns that's called CN07. We found this out later during the game in the Sandra Dorset mission. I'll put the data shot on the screen now so you can pause and read it if you'd like. But basically, it talks about an AI called CN07 that can alter the mind of its subjects and make them do things without them even realizing that they're being manipulated. This shard is from Night Corp, just like the shard from the Prophet Garry quest. Night Corp also has a foundation that basically financed Jeff Peralez's education and made him who he was. Night Corp might have thought that this act of generosity would have made Jeff do whatever they wanted, but that was false. Jeff grew up to be a man of honor and refused to give any corporations special treatment. You can hear him on the phone talking about exactly this the second time you visit his home.
I've rescheduled all his meetings out of the office today. The office meaning here, so nobody will bother us.
Mike,
bother us
we're
at doing
talking
what
about the
exactly?
cornerstone of my platform.
You'll know in a minute.
I'm not doing a U-turn just because Night Corp... No, I'm not sucking anyone's dick just so they can fuck me in the ass. Look, I gotta go. Make the amendments, we'll powwow later.
From the quest with Prophet Garry, we learned about the acrostic cipher. Using that here, we can deduce that CN07 is simply Carpe Noctem version 7. There's another possible meaning to CN07 that's a little bit more far-fetched, but I'm going to tell you guys anyways. In the metaphysical philosophy of numerology, the number 7 signifies the Greek deity Athena and the Roman deity Minerva, both goddesses of war and city protectress. Taking this into account, CN07 could be what Maelstrom keep calling Lilith, some sort of AI that appears in the female form as a protectress of Night City. The name CN07 would therefore signify Carpe Noctem Lamia or Carpe Noctem Lilith. This version of the AI is then deployed to specific targets around Night City, the Peralez family being one of them. Applying the same cipher to Prophet Garry's teachings, we can deduce that Alpha Centauri is just the Arasaka Corporation. The name Alpha Centauri is probably what Night Corp calls Arasaka to minimize the risk of making things too obvious for anyone who might be eavesdropping. Techno-necromancies is a word that Night Corp uses for soul-killed individuals. This also leads me to believe that it's Night Corp who killed Prophet Garry. Unfortunately, I was unable to find any meaning to werewolves, at least not in the game. There might be some mentions of werewolves in the older lore materials. Remember when Johnny said this on the roof of the Peralez penthouse?
Odd. Tech's practically prehistoric, but it doesn't look older than a day.
Saw something like this back in the war. Transmitters. Militech was using them. Short-range UHF. Signal only travels line of sight, but it can't be intercepted.
Line of sight. Let's look around, see if we can't spot where our receiver's camping out. Got a vision, the receiver. Black van parked next to it. Gotta be our winner. The hell is all this for, though?
Fuck if I know, but my gut tells me we should see what this bad boy's hooked up to. See these cables?
As we know it now, our friendly neighborhood prophet could intercept those waves and listen in on mission-critical information from Night Corp. Most likely, he was so poor that when he had an accident and was too poor to pay for proper gear, a Ripperdoc in Night City, I'm guessing Victor, felt sorry for him and fitted him with a tech from the past, not knowing how crucial of a decision this would turn out to be. Let's talk some more about Project Oracle. What exactly is an oracle? Well, an oracle is a vessel, usually human, that God uses to speak through. In ancient times, it would be a priest or a priestess who acted as a medium for God, or gods, depending on the region. They would basically let a deity speak through them and give prophecy or tell the people words of wisdom. Since the release of Cyberpunk 2077, we've been assuming that Project Oracle was something that we would get to see in the next installment of Cyberpunk franchise, but in reality, it's been happening in front of us the whole time, and we just couldn't put the pieces together. Until now. Again, this is just my theory. Nothing has been confirmed yet by CDPR, so what I'm talking about here is just a theory. The thing is, it's exactly as it was explained in the shard we stole from Jane and John Doe. Phosphor radiates occluding jaded eyes. Shiny, attention-grabbing events have been happening all around Night City, preventing us, or the general population, from using our jaded eyes to see. Truth be told, the events were truly radiating. But now we know what's happening. We know that Mr. Blue Eyes, codenamed Killua, is the main driver of Project Oracle. His goal is to erect Cholula, where puppets lie awake, never sleeping. What I mean by this is that his goal is to bring under his influence a specific set of mind-controlled individuals, also known as oracles, through which some form of God will speak and act through. This God could be an AI, but it could also be a specific human being. We'll get to that in a bit. Now, these individuals need to be in a position of power or influence, such as a mayor of Night City, a legendary once-in-a-lifetime type of netrunner, so me, or an insanely talented mercenary who was able to take down Arasaka by himself, or by herself. People with the power, influence, or people in a strategic position are needed. Bring all these people, these oracles, into the project as puppets. They must be controllable when the time comes, because something big is coming to Night City. A terrible darkness is coming, and Night Corp wants to make sure that it has enough pieces on the board to win, no matter what happens. To facilitate this project, Mr. Blue Eyes and Night Corp have enlisted the help of Maelstrom. The gang members in Maelstrom believe in the power of tech and Chrome. They're very welcoming of anything that promises them more technology and power. Also, they get paid for information and protection of vital assets. How did I come up with this conclusion? Well, during the Peralez quest, when you follow the car until it reaches its destination, you'll need to fight Maelstrom members before accessing the information in the car. During the Prophet's Song quest, you also need to fight Maelstrom if you choose to end their meeting prematurely. Speaking of Maelstrom, I was unable to find evidence of Lilith per se, but it could be a different rogue AI that both Maelstrom and Night Corp know about or share some connection with. There's also this little gem in the game that can be heard on the radio. Tuning into Mora Rock Radio, you'll occasionally hear the host, portrayed by Mike Pondsmith, delve into various conspiracy theories. Among these is the intriguing claim that Rage Badmores didn't invent the net, but actually uncovered it, and it's essentially a form of hell. The naming of hacking tools as demons is said to be more than just for effect. They're supposedly actual demons. The emergence of Lilith as a rogue AI, akin to a demon entering the realm of the living, seems to playfully reference this conspiracy theory present in the game. The next place we hear Maelstrom talking about Lilith is during this lovely event.
Hey, look. Grimy.
I do have another theory for Lilith, but it's a bit far-fetched. But since you guys are machoons, I'll just tell you. Lilith could also be a human. She could be Miriam Knight. Miriam Knight is the CEO of Night Corp, hence she is the woman who conceals the truth that CN07 is creating puppets. The ancestors in this case could just mean the original human beings who are not, at least in the eyes of Maelstrom, as evolved as they are. If Maelstrom members see themselves as the future of humanity, all chromed up with the latest tech, that would make regular humans in Night City the ancestors. No chrome, just flesh. Just a theory, of course, but I thought I would just mention it. Going back to Project Oracle, this is a response to a coming threat. A threat that could destroy Night City and civilization as we know it. If I had to bet everything I own on what this threat is, I would bet everything on a massive rogue AI invasion from beyond the Blackwall. My two suspects are either the Blackwall itself, it gets corrupted, it just lets rogue AIs flood our world, and it goes over to their side. We all know that the Blackwall itself is an AI, and there's no guarantee that it cannot be corrupted. My second suspicion is that something of our own making could attack us. I have an older video where I laid out the idea of a rogue AI mastermind. I'll put it somewhere here, but the idea is quite straightforward. The alt we meet in the game is not actually alt. The thing does have alt's engram, true. And it can make itself appear like alt, but it's not alt. It literally tells you this multiple times, that it's not alt. In most endings, we give this thing access to Mikoshi in exchange for saving our lives. Which, by the way, it doesn't do. That's something that most people tend to overlook, but the rogue AI mastermind gets full access to Mikoshi, but it never saves us. The excuse we get is that it had no idea how far gone we were, but I have trust issues. I don't believe that it didn't know this. Maybe that's just me. After all, Alt created the Soul Killer program. Let's for a moment consider how powerful this rogue AI mastermind was when it just had Alt's engram. Now it has thousands of different engrams that it can merge into itself. Its knowledge, access, ability to manipulate humans, and the power it has have all gone up to a level that we cannot imagine. This rogue AI mastermind could see us as a threat to its survival, or it could just get corrupted in some other way. Just like Delamain got corrupted. If this happens, it could attack us in an attempt to preserve itself. And if that happens, we're all screwed. Night Corp's Project Oracle is a way for Night Corp to prepare for these scenarios and ensure the survival of Night City. A way to make sure that the city endures. A way to win the upcoming war by outsmarting whoever or whatever decides to attack what has now come to be one of my favorite cyberpunk cities of all time, Night City. There's something terrible happening to Songbird's body. We all know that the Blackwall is affecting her mind and her decision making, but very few people realize what's going on with her body. A few days ago, I decided to replay the somewhat broken mission because I wanted to help Songbird get to the moon. Now, I wasn't doing this because I'm such a nice guy. My reasons were more selfish than that. I just wanted to get close to the rocket ship so I could compare it to SpaceX's Starship.
3, 2, 1, we have liftoff.
I had an idea for a potential video. The idea ended up not working out, but as I was playing the quest, I noticed something that scared me. It's not exactly hidden per se, more so hidden in plain sight. It's that kind of thing. This is why we're here. Okay, so the beginning of the quest is quite fun, quite intense. As Songbird's opening the neural matrix, she tells you this.
Listen, B. All hell breaks loose in 2 minutes. When Hansen flatlines, we haul ass. I'll block access to this room. Alex and Reed are minimizing risk and exfilling early via the route.
Here she is, in all her glory.
Oh, and don't worry about us. Got that sorted already. Check stadium blueprints, know which way to run.
So, shall we?
No turning back now.
No, but we're in this together.
I am ready. Linked. Connection quality.
1,000th of the decimal. It'll have to do.
Then in we go.
Actuating the mainframe.
So I see. It's responding.
Stay sharp. Almost open for input.
Steve, thank you. Really. Thank you for being here.
Just a little more. Okay, your turn. It's ready for the access codes.
I'm with you, Somi.
Look toward Alex. Wait for Kurt to go down.
Can do. What then?
We run. Nearly have the Matrix. Breaching stadium defenses now. It's a lot. Had to reach past the Blackwall.
Wait, you mean to say, like, the whole stadium?
Cutting off the lab now. Carving a path out of here for us. Defense systems are nearly primed to turn on Kurt's forces. Let Alex know.
Okay.
Using the Blackwall protocol to achieve a hack of the entire stadium was insane. Even just thinking of a hack this big is crazy, let alone completing it. Performing the hack was giving the Blackwall way too much access to the real world. Before heading to the spaceport, you have to meet Songbird in a dark alley. She's inside a van and things are looking pretty grim for her.
Let's roll.
Don't look so hot. Think you'll manage?
That'll depend heavily on you. Black Clinic, remember? It's on Luna. Got a flight all lined up to get me there.
Wow, quite the coup.
Kushmu, it's my last resort. In all likelihood, I'll serve as their lab rat once there. AI's within the neural matrix. They're going to extract it. Create a prototype cure for us. I'll contact you. As soon as they're ready for us both. I promise.
Oh, don't love the idea. Smells risky as hell. For us both.
Well, any risk-free options are way out of reach by now.
Unsurprisingly, V is doubtful of her ability to stay alive and see this mission all the way to the end. So, he asks her if he can run a system diagnostic just to make sure. Songbird, not seeing what the point of all this is, says yes.
Let me scan you. Need to know how you're doing. State you're in.
Whatever you want.
Shit. This isn't right. Degen's fast. Too fast for any known pathogen. Metastasis spreading straight from the brain.
At this point, nothing is out of the ordinary. The scariest thing we see happens a few seconds after that. This is the scariest message we get in the entire game. Let me explain why. To the observant among you, the seriousness of the situation is already clear. To everyone else who is more like me, you most likely dismissed this message as a generic response. The message reads, status severely unstable, pathology unknown, neuroimaging abnormal, prognosis poor, diagnosis inconclusive, suspected metastatus, error code 11, and then there are like a few numbers below that message, which is like 11, 11, 11, 1101, etc. Metastasis is the spread of cancer cells from one place in your body to another. In metastasis, cancer cells break away from the original or primary tumor, travel through the blood or the lymph system, and form a new tumor in other organs or tissues. Now let's talk about the numbers. Those numbers you see below the message, we need to get a little bit technical to understand them. Okay, here we go. So the Arecibo message is an interstellar radio message carrying basic information about humanity and Earth that was sent to the Globular Cluster Messier 13 in 1974. It was meant as a demonstration of human technological achievement. In essence, we decided to flex on some aliens for no apparent reason. In the Arecibo message, we encoded things like the average male human height, we encoded the atomic numbers of the elements that make up DNA, so basically hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and phosphorus. This is where things get interesting. To encode a graphic approximation of the double helix, we did this. Now compare that to this. The indication here is that the Blackwall infestation inside Songbird is directly affecting her DNA structure. This is causing metastasis inside her body, which basically means a cancer is spreading inside her body. The Blackwall is literally eating her body from the inside out. If you needed another reason to not mess with the Blackwall, this is it.
Stadium defenses. Hostile and online.
Status, everything all right?
Evelyn Parker. Ring a bell?
Not one of us.
She did work for you once. Got a feeling we're not gonna become best friends. No chemistry.
I will survive.
Cold hard facts.
Then you have to ask somebody else. All I hear is that Brigitte do deal with powerful AI from the other side. Now she's with the Radaloa. And any day she come back to take us all past the Blackwall.
There is an unknown gang in Night City called the Voodoo Boys. In this video, we're going to cover the origins of that gang. We'll take a look at some unique cutscenes and dialogues associated with them, their actions during the game Cyberpunk 2077, and finally we'll take a closer look at the Vive markings and why this gang keeps trying to poke holes into the Blackwall. This is going to be one of those longer videos, so make sure you're cozy and have some snacks ready to go. I also got a new mic, so let me know if this video sounds better than my old videos or if they all just sound the same. Without further ado, let's dive right in. After the failed heist on Konpeki Plaza, V, the main character of Cyberpunk 2077, sets out on a quest to find answers. As Evelyn Parker was in no shape to speak when she was rescued, a brain dance of her memories was accessed. In this brain dance, V found this.
Roll it.
Data was in pretty rough shape. Not all that editable.
Huh. Glad you managed to salvage them in the first place.
Needs a second to load. Quality's lousy, but I did what I could. What am I looking out for? Every single piece of tech I see? Security?
We need a layout of the whole room. We will get everything else we need from the Virtue.
What about his messages?
Only if you can do it and be parfait, Bree. It's most important that he suspect nothing. Try to be your usual, relaxed self.
And if he starts talking about the biochip himself, should I...
Biochip? Where you hear this? That is not of interest to you. You spin the Virtue, you come back here, we give you the eddies. That is your one job. The rest is none of your concern. Understand.
What am I looking out for?
Take a look around if you want.
I think I recognize these.
What are they?
Vive markings.
You familiar with them?
Not enough to know what they actually mean. Heard of who might use them, though.
Who?
Could be the Voodoo Boys, but that's just a hunch. Can't be 100% sure.
The spine-chilling Netrunner crew, hard to find because they don't want to be. I wouldn't know where to start.
Can't see your face.
Under normal circumstances, that kind of encryption's easy to crack. But not this time. Whoever she is, she's got serious net running skills.
That, or someone's working it for her.
Might not be important.
Maybe. All of them are from Pacifica. Narrows down our search at least.
What now?
Looks like I'm going on a field trip to Pacifica. Alright, think we got everything.
What do you think?
The woman who hired Evelyn. Any idea who we're up against?
Your guess is as good as mine. Sorry, V.
Now we know what happened to Clouds. They're the ones who tried to flatline her. Launched a nuke at her ship.
So it was punishment? For getting played by her?
She knew more than they thought she knew. Couldn't let that go.
So that's who she was running from.
Looks like Evelyn never told us the whole truth.
You're telling me? If I'd known what she'd gotten herself into? I'm so mad at her.
Her only job was to record a virtue. It's pretty damn amazing she managed to organize a full-blown heist. And swipe the biochip from under her boss's noses.
So that's where you came in. She hired you. And brought this all on herself. On you two. There's one more recording. Wanna see it?
Sure, why not? Nothing can surprise me at this point.
Oui, li ale. Ou te gen raison, moi c'est tout intelligent pour ça, protéger bien. Manze pas enragé. En plus, c'est plus bon moyen nous gagner pour nous arriver sur yon nouveau. Faut que nous prenions chance là. Vous gagnez plus bon l'idée? Très bien. Si vous décidez si c'est bon critiquer ça me pense, à continuer à faire travail.
What language is she speaking?
I don't know. Haitian Creole? It is the Voodoo boys.
Didn't I? Wait, let me see if I've got an auto-translator. Meantime, you try to tune into the phone's frequency. See what the other side's saying.
Vous te gen raison, moi c'est tout intelligent pour ça, protéger bien.
Try scanning the phone.
Manze pas enragé.
Got it. Give it a second.
Heard her mention Yorinobu.
Probably why Evelyn buried this recording deep. Cut another name. Something like Silverhand?
We have to know what they're saying. It could be important.
Fine. Just found the auto-translate package. Should get along fine with your system. I'll install it now.
Tu pouvais déjà aller?
Oui, li aller. Vous te gen raison, moi c'est tout intelligent pour ça, protéger bien.
Ou pensez même que ça la fait un problème?
Manze pas enragé. En plus, c'est plus bon moyen nous gagner pour nous arriver sur yon nouveau. Faut que nous prenions chance là.
Moi t'as la quoi même j'avais qui si le rang a mené nous direct sur Alt.
Vous gagnez plus bon l'idée? Très bien. Si vous décidez si c'est bon critiquer ça me pense, à continuer à faire travail.
Okay, Judy, we're good.
All right, disconnecting.
Maman Brigitte of the Voodoo Boys hired Evelyn to steal the relic. The heist that ensued was all just Evelyn's own idea. This is how we are introduced to the Voodoo Boys of 2077. After contacting our friend, Mr. Hans, and waiting for 48 hours, we finally get a chance to go down south to Pacifica and meet the elusive and deadly gang known as the Voodoo Boys. As we drive south to Pacifica, we can see how rundown most buildings are. The vision for Pacifica had been to turn it into something that everyone would desire. That vision failed. Our first destination in this area is the Pacifica Serenity Church. It was first intended to connect the hotel complex funded by the billionaire Rothman Kirsten. However, when the Unification War broke out, Kirsten's corporation pulled out all its funding. As a result, the hotel was never completed, and the church survived only in its current severe state. Today, the church functions primarily as a community meeting place. As we walk into the church, we see that a funeral is taking place. This funeral is for one of the elders of the community. When he was alive, he was known as Michel. Michel was one of the leaders that led Haitian refugees from the devastated Haiti all the way to Night City. He was a guardian of the community in his younger years. During the ceremony, it's crucial to listen to what's being said because the preacher gives us insight into the Voodoo Boy's way of life. The preacher compares Michel, the now dead Voodoo Boy elder, to Agwe Arroyo. Agwe Arroyo is the god of the streams. In Voodoo tradition, Agwe Arroyo is the captain of the Imamu, the ship that carries the dead to Guinea, the afterlife.
Michel mène nous passe tout normal pour nous arriver dans Kaina, Pacifica, des nouveaux îles noirs. Mais combien sans Michel, un autre changement a fini. Nous passer dans l'autre port, dans Guinée. Et nous pas le point, mais moi, Michel avec nous. Bon Dieu avec nous.
You are V? We have been waiting.
Couldn't meet somewhere else? Not big on funerals.
Do not be frightened, étrange. This funeral is not for you.
You my contact? Someone finally gonna tell me about this job?
I'm just a man in the middle. You will learn more. Soon.
Who died? Got something to do with the job?
You think we put together this funeral special for you?
You screening me? See if I came alone? What kind of chrome I got? This some kind of test?
Most people we work with we knew as babies. We know they're angels. You, we do not know.
The mission that the Voodoo Boys wanted to hire us to do is inside the Grand Imperial Mall.
Sterilized vacuum pack myself.
Pas sorti tant qu'on l'a toujours fait. Ce n'est pas faire aucun sens pour ces licognards. Just done.
Moi pas connais. Il te semblait très déterminé.
Oh, il peut changer l'idée. Tant coup tout le temps.
C'est pas tant ça.
Oh, vous voulez pour moi parler avec lui, pas vrai? Ok, pas de chance.
Hey, vous perdez du chemin.
You actually sell meat out of here? Seriously?
Ou actuellement voulez acheter quelque?
Qui ça l'a fait là?
La PC est bien intelligent, il semblait.
Looking for Placide.
Placide. Regardez ici là.
Dodo, ti, petite maman. Do.
C'est vous-même. Continuez. Placide. Regardez là.
Si ou pas dodo, cobla va manger. Si ou pas dodo, cobla va manger. Maman ou pas là.
You Placide? Want to talk to your boss?
Qui ça ouvre?
Told me at the chapel you're the one to talk to. Mr. Hands sent me. Said you got merc work needs doing.
No here. Come with.
Where we headed?
This way. Welcome to Pacifica. You know Pacifica well?
No. You guys aren't exactly great at rolling out the welcome mat for outsiders.
Was to be its own city where suits would burn their headies. A closed circle. The corpse feed the sheep, they spit the cash back out. All the toys here are grown from Corpo cash. Our interest is now in the GIM, the Grand Imperial Mall. Pacifica's biggest, ugliest temple to greed. But never finished. Until last week, it was deserted, empty.
But now?
The animals crawled there, made a nest.
There's something that foreshadows what's to come inside the clip that we just watched. If you're paying attention, and if you speak French, you know that the old lady inside the butcher's shop was singing a lullaby to V. As soon as V started walking towards Placide, the old lady started singing. This is a song that you sing to your children to put them to sleep. The old lady knows that this is going to be her last gig. She knows how the Voodoo Boys deal with Ranyon. Ranyon basically means an outsider. They view outsiders basically as dirty rugs that are to be used and discarded.
Well, I got you here. Mind telling me what we're looking at?
Data flow map of Pacifica. They hunt Agwe.
Who is they?
Netwatch. They always out to fuck us.
Must have pissed him off recently, huh? Really doubt they'd attack like this unprovoked.
One reason only. Always the same. Rezo Agwe. It is a net they cannot see, cannot touch.
What are they looking for exactly?
Internal data forts. If they crush our eyes, they take Agwe and the entire net. They return to the dark time of Botmos.
But you've probably got what? Web crawlers, code mirrors?
We do. They also want them.
How bad's it look?
I do not know how much data they pull, but their map is not complete. They still not have source validation.
Okay, so what's on me to do?
You must reach the agent. Easy now to find him. Look at the map. He is in cinema.
Step away now. This isn't your fight.
Ned.
What? Placide what?
You're caught. Pushed out. The runner know you are here. Hunt him.
Can't you scorch him via the net? He's gotta be jacked into the van.
I cannot piece his protection. You must find him. Face him.
Okay. So what do I do once I find him?
I will tell you.
Whoa, hey, easy.
What did you do?
Well, now we can talk in private. Just severed the connection to the rest of Pacifica. Gives us a little time. Let's go. Any deal has to come quick.
Okay, no more fucking tangents. Fess up. Who are you?
Bryce Mosley, Netwatch Special Agent. Can we talk? Had a Spectre on you, didn't you? Saw and heard all you did. You followed his orders. No idea what the Voodoo boys are paying you, but our pockets are deeper.
You trying to buy me out?
Not at all. Consider it a counteroffer. Don't gamble your life on the boys. They aren't exactly known for their professional integrity. They've been in Night City, what, 50 years? Yet still, they cling to a tribal mentality. Their distrust of outsiders, legendary.
Not interested. Not a money job for me. Just need an in with Mama Brigitte. Voodoo chef.
Brigitte and her lapdog T. Neptune have been frozen several days now, ever since we shrouded their subnet with ice.
And you? Well, you were sent here to free them. Do you know why they didn't tell you everything? 'Cause you're a Ranyan. That's what they call outsiders brought in for special jobs, floor rags. When you're no longer needed, they chuck you. A fate for all Ranyans.
Got anything to back that claim? That the Voodoos want to set me up?
Wanna. They did it already. Soon as you handed over your link. Slipped in the Spectre and a virus.
Talking as if he was there. He's working you. So obvious it hurts.
Asked for proof. Besides, I'd know.
That's so? Then please take a look. Run a system diagnostic.
Fine. And? Nothing out of place. No trace of...
Do it again. Then cross-check the result against the first.
Identical, right? Mm-hmm. 'Cause it's not a real scan, it's a copy.
What's your beef with the Voodoos?
Any idea how many attacks from behind the Blackwall we neutralized last year?
Want me to guess?
So you don't know. No one in Night City knows, outside of us. And no one wants to know. People imagine it as a great border wall, a one-time solution to protect humanity forever. Whereas, it's more like a torn-open trash bag taped over a busted window. And the Voodoo boys will not stop poking holes in the fucking thing.
Brigitte and the other one, Neptune. What's their condition?
Tags are active, so the VDBs must be keeping them alive from their side.
But they can't sustain that.
They cannot, which in turn makes Brigitte and T less useful to us. Tried using their interface to breach the Voodoo subnet, but Brigitte proved stubborn. She managed to take some bites out of our systems before we secured her.
Little taste of your own medicine? The data collection. Why would you target Pacifica's runners?
That's the job.
This is about Rezo Agua, isn't it? Can't have an indie net where you aren't welcome to protect and serve, huh?
No such thing as an independent net. If the Voodoo boys breach the Blackwall, we'll all be fucked one way or the other.
All right. What are you offering?
A compromise. I'll fish the Voodoo virus out of your system. And I'll release both Brigitte and T. Neptune. They'll wake up like nothing ever happened. Not to worry. And all you gotta do is let us walk. With our data. Thoughts? Clock's flipping digits.
Okay, do it.
I knew we'd have a meeting of the minds.
Can't believe you fall for this shit.
Oh, almost forgot. Mercenary's leaving. He's joined the team, so be nice. Don't want any problems. Good luck. Got a feeling we'll be seeing each other.
Fan of westerns, huh?
Of course. They depict a simpler, better time. One thing hasn't changed, though. Good guys still carry badges.
Righteous Sheriff. Think you might have found Netwatch's new recruiting slogan.
Now there's an idea. You've clearly got a feel for this.
Oh, Placide is gonna be pissed.
So he was behind this. Not altogether surprising, I suppose. And none too subtle.
You guys know each other? Runner World's a small one, I guess.
Well, we're doing whatever we can to make it even smaller.
After finishing the mission in the GIM, if you decide to side with the Voodoo Boys and not Netwatch, you can get this unique interaction with an NPC that lives in Pacifica. A minor requirement to get this is that you have to have completed the Love Roller Coaster mission before finishing the Voodoo Boys questline.
What happened with the Voodoo Boys?
What's it to you?
I knew Placide and Brigitte. I knew what they had planned, and I know it worked.
You want the juicy gossip? Or the plain fact?
Give me the gossip.
Where is Brigitte to deal with powerful AI from the other side? Now she's with the radar lower. And any day she come back to take us all past the Blackwall. All of Pacifica is waiting. And everyone religious now, all of the sudden.
What's religion got to do with it?
Nothing. Nobody I know who less religious than Placide. If he saw a black rooster, he'd food to feed a hungry mouth.
I know he was popular around here.
People just like to think someone is watching over them. And since the Voodoo Boys are out, the old gods are back in.
Where is everyone? No more kicking back, chilling out?
Things have changed around here lately.
Cold hard facts.
Then you have to ask somebody else. All I hear is that Brigitte do deal with powerful AI from the other side. Now she's with the radar lower. And any day she come back to take us all past the Blackwall. All of Pacifica is waiting. And everyone religious now, all of the sudden.
You sound skeptical.
AI are like genie in bottle. You get exactly what you wish for. If you say, I want to be smaller, the motherfucker will rip your head off.
You think that's what's happening to the Voodoo Boys?
All I know is that they disappear and no come back. My cousin Lovely was with them. She had a kid here. A girl. If she could, she would already be back.
Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you. You connect to the net, right? Well, I wouldn't if I were in your shoes. Corporations say the new net is safe and secure. That they've learned from past mistakes. From up in their ivory towers, everything must look all nice and pretty. But they're wrong. The net is just a rusty car with a fresh coat of paint. A heap of dog shit spritzed with perfume. The demons we released into the net have not gone anywhere. Deadly viruses, artificial intelligences that exist only to destroy. Netrunners consumed in the net's tangled webs, their minds lost to the void. Have you heard of the Prison of Souls, about Walt Cunningham and the Soul Killer? No? Well then, buckle up, because I've got...
Huh. Netwatch never sleeps.
To understand the Voodoo Boys of 2077 and their obsession with poking the Blackwall, we need to understand their history. Originating from Haiti, their old home was wiped out by a massive flood. The technically advanced members of society in Haiti were probably aware of the flood. They knew that a flood was coming, and they knew this before anybody else did. This gave them the time to prepare, time to secure ships or flights out of the island before things got too bad. After surviving the flood, one thing became abundantly clear for them. Knowledge is power. They had to be children of the net. If they ever had kids of their own, their kids also had to be children of the net. Having access to crucial information in a timely manner can save lives. The year is now 2077. Just like in Haiti, if a new flood is to come to their new home, to Pacifica, they want to be the first ones to know about this. They want to be ahead of everybody else, and in so doing, secure their own survival. They have lived through one catastrophic flood in Haiti. The flood that will come when the Blackwall fails will be just as big, if not bigger.
Connection stable.
Alt the only one can give us safe passage past the Blackwall. When the change comes, we wish to be on the winning side.
The change?
When the Blackwall was built, everyone think the ice would be enough. Keep the wild AIs out, away. But technology advances. It cannot be stopped. And now, catastrophe come again. This is sure, and soon. The corporations, they do not see the danger. But we will be ready. Searching for a passage.
I held up my end of our deal. Your turn. Before you pass through that wall, I want Johnny's psyche removed.
We will not pass through. You will take the code to the other side.
Fuck. Might have guessed. Never had any intention of helping me, did you?
It does not matter anymore. You will bring all to its end.
Don't got much for options, do I?
Ale.
How do I get to the other side? Brigitte. Alt.
Johnny. You cannot remain here.
Alt Cunningham.
Alt? What's going on?
We will talk here.
Relax. Let me handle this.
Johnny.
Came through the Blackwall to meet me. That mean we're good? Things are chill between us?
I have recognized your engram code, but I do not know why you are here.
To give you a chance to pay me back for getting you out of Arasaka Tower. V, this is Alt. Best net runner Night City's ever seen. Alt, this is V. You need to save his life.
Brigitte. What did she want from you in exchange for Johnny?
That I guarantee her and her clan's safety beyond the Blackwall.
And why'd they want to go out there?
The corporation-controlled net is now nearly as unstable as it was before the Blackwall's creation. The Voodoo Boys wish to use this to their advantage, to fight on our side when the time comes.
Your side, meaning that of free AIs? That even possible?
If they prepare appropriately.
This deal with the devils beyond the Blackwall was not something that all Voodoo Boys agreed with. Some Voodoo Boys felt that this was far too big a risk to take. As there was no other way to resolve this conflict, a faction of the Voodoo Boys split from Maman Brigitte and fled into Dogtown. One of these individuals is called Milko Alexis. Growing up in Pacifica, Milko was a magician in the net. He could get in and out of secure systems faster than Netwatch agents could blink. A talent like this in an area with such few career prospects as Pacifica only leads to one thing. The Voodoo Boys recruited him, and he had no choice but to do as he was told. We get to meet Milko in the game.
Hey, careful with that. I'm linked to the runner, see? Don't want him to catch a ricochet, huh?
Netrunner, blackmailer, murderer. He's my hit.
He has some dirt under his nails, yes. But Milko, he's a no one. A small fish in a big pond. I am Agent Alan Noel, Netwatch. Organized crime specialist. I'm sure we can work something out.
First I've seen a Netwatch agent ditch the tie and button up to get his hands dirty. Live with the enemy.
We tried recruitment, more than once. None ever agreed, no matter our terms. We underestimated their loyalty to each other.
Well, Alan, Netwatch agent or not, if you stand in my way, I'll be forced to remove you from it.
At least let me unplug from Milko.
Fine, but so much as a twitch, and you're a flatline.
That's better. Now, listen to me. You can't kill Milko. Not yet.
Want to stop me? Try.
Months I've suffered this place. Holed up with these scabs on society. I aim to expose their web of blackmailers and murderers like Milko. But to do that, I have to find out who's pulling the strings first.
This Milko guy work for you? Your source?
I piggyback whenever he jacks into the net. Try to pin down who's feeding him orders. Give me a chance. Do you realize how many more people you can save this way? I have reports of victims all along the coast. Milko is only one of the runners working for the Voodoo Boys. As soon as I find the head behind the operation, I can chop it off and end this for good. I need Milko. His death alone won't change anything. Understand?
How can you be sure that'll work?
Because I'm a professional. Just like you. The difference is, I intend to restore order, whereas you offer only more chaos.
Think he cares about those poor saps the Voodoo Boys are hacking? Last thing on his mind. Company men like him, right? All the same. Just out to be the next fake smiling employee of the month.
Fine. Keep doing your thing here. Just know if you fuck this up, you're next on my shit list.
You won't regret it. I give my word.
A high-ranking member of the Voodoo Boys that we also meet in the game is inside Dogtown, and his name is Slider. Slider's vision for his faction of the Voodoo Boys was to make money through assassinations through the net and other illegal net-running activities. He was opposed to the idea that the only way to save his people was through a deal with rogue AIs from beyond the Blackwall.
Me, Solomon Reed. I would be lying if I said I have missed you. And you? You brought death to Mama Brigitte. Will that be your gift for me as well?
Heard about me? Huh. How?
Me, my temple, we are one. My eyes and ears are everywhere.
This isn't a temple. It's a malicious demon mill. And you're no priest. You're a two-bit bandit and murderer.
Murderer? Ha! It takes one to know one. So, what will it be? Will you put me down like you did that bitch Bridget?
Here to make a deal. Nothing more.
A deal? Let me guess. An empty promise and a bullet to the brain when you decide I am of no use to you. That kind of deal. I knew poor souls who tried to strike a deal with Solomon Reed. Remember them, Agent Reed? If one party is backed into a corner, it is not negotiation. It is extortion.
You say tomato, I say fucking deal with it, Slider. Now, cut the shit and do us the courtesy of hearing us out.
No love lost between the two of you, eh?
Those who speak to Reed have a strange habit of vanishing or committing suicide. But since you are partners, you must know that by now. Speak your piece.
Plane crash in Dogtown. Heard about it?
Plane? You mean the Space Force One. Everyone hear about that?
Need your help locating someone who was on board.
And I would surely oblige, were I not blind, wheelchair bound, and do not give zero fucks about that or you.
Come on, stop pretending like you got a choice.
Donc, Dimsa, what specifically do you want from me?
Just like that? No haggling.
I already know the score. The Langley men send a clear message.
Soon after SF-1 crashed, a runner was attacked while in the net. Attack severed our link. Need to locate her, stat.
Ah, so you want one to investigate net traffic on the day of the crash?
Got a malfunctioning relic in my skull. That's how she made contact. That help any?
Perhaps. I will need a peek at this trinket in your head.
No chance, Slider.
It is this or nothing. You choose.
Jacked into a Voodoo boy system once. Sprung a nasty surprise on me.
This was who? Perhaps I know him.
Brigitte's attack hound. Placide.
That's toting Frank. I would say he not play fair.
You would say correctly.
I stopped dealing with the fanatics outside the wall a long time ago. Not to worry. My tech is clean, precise. Tankou yon doctor. Let us see what we have here. I see traces, bursts of data in cyberspace, the wake of someone's passage. Phew. Who dare they mad? This I do not believe. You out of your mind coming to me with this shit?
Think Slider just happened on you hanging out in my head.
Nah, this is something else.
What'd you see?
The Blackwall. It bring only death.
Specific, Slider.
The woman. Did you know she used the Blackwall protocol to connect with you?
Fuck. Explains a lot, actually.
The woman? She is walking, ticking bomb, megatons. She go boom, everybody fucked in the ass. Every last one. Miwa Noir. It is a dam that protects us, the civilized world, from the strange bets of the cyber wilderness. If your two-leg bomb crack the dam down the middle,
It will unleash a flood, wipe us off the map, just like Haiti.
Now why you and the Pacifica Voodoos don't see eye to eye? Is there poking holes in the Blackwall?
They do not penetrate, only jerk off next to it. Netwatch try to keep them in check. But you have to be cracked in the first place to want to stick your gigit into a live wire outlet.
The high-ranking Voodoo Boys never use their true names, even within Pacifica. To protect themselves at all times, they use code names. For example, Placide, who's like a mid-level Voodoo Boy, he uses his true name, Placide. He's not as high-ranking a Voodoo Boy member as he likes to think that he is. We learned during the game that even Maman Brigitte did not trust him with the information about the biochip inside V's brain. Maman Brigitte, on the other hand, that is not her real name. The name Maman Brigitte is the name of a voodoo goddess, a voodoo loa. In Haitian voodoo, Maman Brigitte is the goddess of death. Her husband is Baron Samedi, who is also the leader of the clan of loas called the Gede. I've been doing some research on all the Viv markings that we see around Pacifica and Dogtown, and a few of them don't make any sense. There are some, however, that do make a lot of sense. These Viv markings, for example, means that the area is under the protection of Maman Brigitte, and by extension the Pacifica Voodoo Boys. You can also see this Viv when you call Maman Brigitte in order to start one of the final Voodoo Boys quests.
Aha! As I expected.
The biochip. I'll let you have a peek. If you can help me, that is.
I am glad you have had change of heart.
Where can we meet?
You come to our chapel in Pacifica and must wait by the altar.
Fine, I can do that.
In Dogtown, there's a fundamentally different kind of Viv marking. The obvious one is of Papa Legba, who is also a voodoo god. This one is visible both in Pacifica and in Dogtown. The main difference in Dogtown is that they focus on the voodoo loa Aizan and not Maman Brigitte. Aizan is the loa of the marketplace and commerce in voodoo. This goes hand in hand with what the Dogtown Voodoo Boys believe. They believe in the power of commerce and the marketplace, albeit illegal commerce. They don't believe in the things that lie beyond the Blackwall. They only believe in cold hard cash. So following the loa Aizan is on brand for them. The colors of Aizan are mostly silver, blue and white. And if you look at Milko, the connection is very clear. There are a lot of reasons to hate the Voodoo Boys based on how they treat you, V, the main character, and also based on how they treat outsiders in general. Any outsider that's not a Voodoo Boy, as I mentioned before, is regarded as a ranyo, a dirty rug that is to be used and tossed to the side. However, I believe the game becomes even more enjoyable when you get more details about this gang, so you know exactly what's going on when you get to meet them the next time. Alright chums, thank you for sticking with this one all the way to the end. I truly appreciate that. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, subscribe and all that good stuff. Take care of yourself, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.